Jamie here from InkyandScrappy, sharing with you today another one of my party theme decor featuring MFT's Farm-tastic stamp set. This one is a lot of just die cutting for the label parts. So the plan for these are these little labels are going to get taped onto the front of a seed packet and then tucked inside of a little clay pot, so they can take the little seed packet and the little clay pot and then grow their own plants, you know. So for this one, it's just a lot of die cutting, seriously. So I did the labels for the front on my Word document. I just used the template for, I want to say it was the Avery L. I think there's like 9 to it, so it's like a square little 3x3 label or something, like circle label, I think is what it was. I think it ends up being about a 2.5 inch circle that I ended up cutting out, and then of course running them through the die cut machine with dies. I cut in multiples, so the copy paper I was able to do in 3s, so I just cut my papers down to strips. I cut one to make sure that it was going to be workable, to make sure that I fit everything in it and not run into the next one over. And then of course for the colored cardstock, I just took various colored cardstocks that coordinated with my color theme here, and then I just ran those through 2 at a time. So because they're a little bit heavier weight, I didn't want to do the 3 with them. I wanted a nice clean cut. And so that saves time when you're doing multiples if you can cut more than one of something at a time. So a lot of times you can get away with cutting 2, depending upon paper thickness. If it is that super thin copy weight paper, you can also cut sometimes up to 3. So, you know, it just saves passes in the die cut machine. Now for the sign for this one, I found this really cute little pop-up sign. It kind of, farmer market is kind of what I thought it reminded me of. It would also be really cool for like a coffee themed barista style thing or anything like that. So I'm just coming in with some Distress White paint. I thought about doing some heavy painting on this one, but with the string attached already, which I could have removed, but I didn't want to have to detach the hinges up on top. So I just decided to go with a wash style paint job on this one. I could have left it plain, but I just thought that white just added a little bit of a whitewash effect to it. And then I'm just going over those little parts that I might have missed with a paintbrush, watering it down a little bit, and then just taking my finger to wipe it off of that metallic, because it's not really going to stick there anyways. And then making sure I get into all of those little lines that I couldn't get into with the sponge dauber top on my Distress paint. I know, it's old paint, hence it still has that sponge dauber top. And then I'm just going to clean up my work surface before that dries, because we all know that Distress paint is permanent. Granted, on glass, I would have just needed to use a straight razor to scrape it off. It would have been fine. So for my one side, I have a printed sign, but for the other side, I was just going to add this farmer's market, locally grown, everyday fresh. Now, I didn't cut it the greatest. I should have brought in my bigger paper trimmer or my little piece, my cheater piece here earlier on. So it's not exactly centered, which is fine. I asked his mom there's a picture of him that I wanted on the back side. I just couldn't find it in my feed and I didn't get it printed. So I said, if you want to throw that picture on the back side, that was kind of what I was thinking anyways. But if she just leaves the farmer market sign, that works fine as well. It's just the back side of the sign. It's not even the front. I just wanted to have it to have a finished look from both sides. So then for the main part, or the main front of my sign, I just went to the computer again and did a computer generated sentiment, I guess, on it. I don't know if you'd call it a sentiment, but title. I could have done die cuts and it would have been finicky and a lot of work, and sometimes it's just faster. I do have a Brother printer which has the capability of doing lightweight cardstock. So this is 65-pound classic, or close to my heart paper. So it's kind of on the lighter end of cardstock, and it just works. So it just works through my printer. So I was able to do that. You could also, I think, take it to like a print shop and they would do that for you as well if you wanted it on heavier stuff. But you could run it through your, just do it on copy paper too. But this one was just easy enough to figure it out because my, you know, I just set my document to 5 by 7, so I knew exactly where it was going to be placed. My piece of paper was bigger that I ran through the printer, which was fine, and then I just used my modern embossed A7 stack from Trinity Stamps to die cut that out. That way I didn't have to worry about lining anything up in the paper trimmer and all the things. I just could do it with the die cut. Super easy. So I also backed it with a piece of cardstock that coordinated with the rest of the decor. Used another one of those tractors, and then of course the little cobs of corn that I'd colored earlier on. So, and that's the signage and the little thank yous for the favor packets, and his mom will finish the rest of that when she gets them in the mail. I hope you have an amazing day. Keep getting inky. Bye!